What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Just back again with another video. This is your one-stop shop for anime and manga. Let's get into it. Alright, y'all. I want to start by saying thank you to everyone who's been subscribing. If you're new here and you like my content and you like what I'm doing, consider subscribing, leaving a like, hit the bell so I don't post another video. Also, follow me on Twitter. Links gonna be in the description. Alright, yeah, so today we're gonna be doing a part 2 to my best beginner manga series. Really because my collection's grown a little bit. I've read a little bit more. And I think I've found some other series that I think are great for beginners. So this is another list of manga that I feel is the best for beginners. If you're into manga or if you know someone that's into manga, try showing them this video. See if they'll pick a series out from here and see if they might get into it. Because if you like anime, you may like reading manga. Definitely give it a try. And here's just a few more that I think will be great. Alright, so the first one I want to talk about is something that was in my last video. And that's just because I feel like this is by far the best beginner series. And that's All You Need Is Kill. So All You Need Is Kill is an amazing series. I highly recommend this to anyone. Basically, if you are into anime, if you've seen something like Demon Slayer or Jujutsu Kaisen, maybe even Naruto or One Piece, you're definitely going to like All You Need Is Kill. So basically, All You Need Is Kill is about a soldier who is fighting these aliens, and it turns out that every time he dies, he relives the same day. So this raw rookie recruit who has no experience, no nothing, has to learn to kill these aliens in the time frame of him reliving the same day over and over again. And of course, it's great artwork. My boy Takeshi Obata has amazing, impeccable artwork. If you like Death Note, if you like Bakuman, he's the artist right here. And the story is just nice. It's fast paced. It's so engaging, especially the entire series just this one volume. So it's not, a commitment on the wallet. You can just get this volume for yourself or get it for someone that you know, and let's see if they enjoy manga. All You Need Is Kill is basically my top pick whenever it comes to beginner series because that is just the ultimate. If you like any type of generic shonen, you're most likely going to fall in love with this series, and this might get you into reading more manga. The next series I want to talk about is something that's a little bit different, and that's Deadpool Samurai. So obviously, everyone really knows Deadpool. Deadpool's one of those Marvel characters that's very well known, especially with the movie that came out with Ryan Reynolds. Everyone really loves Deadpool. They love how funny it is. And Deadpool Samurai is 2 volumes, and it's basically, if you've ever read a Deadpool comic book, or if your friend has ever read a Deadpool comic book, it's basically the exact same thing, but in a manga version. And I really do love this series. I really think if you're a comic book lover in general, you might like this series. You might want to take a stab at Deadpool Samurai. Deadpool Samurai follows Deadpool on his quest to Japan, and it's basically balls to the wall. If you like Deadpool comic books, if you like the fourth wall breaks, if you like the jokes, if you like all the references that Deadpool makes in his comic books, you're gonna love Deadpool Samurai. It's only 2 volumes, so it's again not a huge commitment. When I think of these beginner series, I try to think of something that either you could get for yourself or you could get for someone that you know, just to get them started. Maybe they've seen a couple episodes of an anime, or maybe they like a specific series. These manga series are just supposed to get your feet wet so you understand what it is. And Deadpool Samurai definitely is a nice combination of comic books and manga. Basically, like I said, it's just like reading Deadpool comic books, but it's a manga format. So obviously, black and white artwork, again, impeccable. But I really do like the references that Deadpool makes. He makes all of the manga references. There are actually some unique cameos that you might like if you've seen certain animes. I'm not going to spoil nothing, but definitely, if you like Marvel Comics, if you like Deadpool, give Deadpool Samurai a try. See if you like the manga. The next series I'm going to talk about is Crazy Food Truck. Crazy Food Truck is easily one of my favorite beginner series that I've read recently, and it's so good. It's nice. It's action-packed. It's just incredible. It's really good artwork again, and I do like the different concept of Crazy Food Truck because basically my guy Gordon, he is in a food wasteland desert, and he decides to run the food truck business. He comes across this girl, and they just start going on a crazy adventure, and it's just incredible. When Gordon finds this girl, Riza, in the desert, he feeds her, and he basically takes care of her for a little bit, only to find out that there is a militia that's after her. And because the militia's after her, you find out that Gordon has a little bit of a history, so he can handle his own, and it's just incredible. Definitely, Crazy Food Truck is just action-packed. There's action from the first chapter to the end. This series is only 3 volumes long, so again, not a huge commitment, but I really do think anyone could like this one. This one does have a little more explicit stuff. It does have the explicit content label on the volume, so you might want to read this one or get this if someone's over 18, because there are some risque moments I do want to say in the manga series, but that's not what this is about. This is just a crazy action-packed series, and it's incredible. The artwork is amazing, especially when they drawing the food. The food in this, they have to use these different types of animals because in this world there is no water. So as you see here in the cover, the fish are flying. He has to fish in sand and pick up these animals, and he cooks them up. He feeds them to Ariza, and they're just amazing because it has this nice slice of life element where they're just exploring the scenery, and you see how beautiful these manga panels are. So you're definitely gonna enjoy the artwork. But then when all said and done, they just have to go crazy with the missiles, the firing, the fights, everything. The choreographies are beautiful. If you want to try something that's a little bit different, that's not the generic stuff that everyone's always reading, the basic shonen that a lot of people start with, definitely we might want to give Crazy Food Truck a try because it's a nice mix between action and slice of life, because there are these slice of life elements that I think someone who hasn't read manga, they might actually enjoy, especially how beautiful these double page manga panels are. It's really, really beautiful the way they could just make you feel immersed in this world, especially the world is basically the human world, but in this world there is no water at all. So having all the different animals, the different plates that food he makes, and also just them doing stuff in the desert. They have these cool, unique things that they do with sand, and just the crazy desert and crazy food truck that they have is amazing. I definitely recommend Crazy Food Truck because it's just crazy fast paced and something a little bit different. Check it out. The next series I want to talk about is something that's a little bit longer, and this one is basically if you don't want to try standard shonen or standard manga series that everyone's going to try, you might want to try this one, and that's High Score Girl. So High Score Girl is a nice rom-com that collects itself in 10 volumes, and it's a little longer than the other series I talked about today, but I truly highly love High Score Girl, especially the anime. The anime is beautiful. If you don't want to get this person into manga, just have them watch the High Score anime. They most likely gonna love it. But like I said, this is some good beginner manga, and High Score Girl manga is by far one of the better ones. It's a little bit longer with the 10 volumes, like I said, but it's a beautiful just rom-com that takes place in the 90s, and it's about these two kids and their love for video games and their love for fighting video game arcades. And it's just a nice, sweet series. You see their relationship grow from basically elementary school to high school, and you see everything, the trials, the tribulations. It's not necessarily slice of life. It's definitely more just a standard romantic comedy if you like that type of genre. But it's so cute. It's so wholesome. And High Score Girl just, it piques that interest for me specifically because it's about gaming. So if you like video games, or someone you know has an appreciation for video games, they're most likely gonna like this series, especially if they've played the arcades, they played some of the Street Fighters, the Final Fights, the Mortal Kombats that are in this series. When it comes to High Score Girl, I didn't just want to recommend battle action series, these tournament series. I did want to differentiate a little bit and add some unique series. I think High Score Girl, Deadpool Samurai, maybe even Crazy Food Truck, that falls a little more into the standard shonen, seinen type of genre, action-packed genre. But as far as High Score Girl, it's a beautiful, wholesome romantic comedy. And just these two characters in general, you're going to fall in love with. Especially if you don't want to try the manga, this is the one series that I highly, highly recommend giving the anime a try. Animation is going to be amazing. The music is going to make you just fall in love. And just their connection in general is very, very beautiful, and it's very nice to read and or watch. Definitely, I recommend High Score Girl. It's just a little bit of a bigger commitment because this one is 10 volumes, like I said. But I promise you, if you give High Score Girl a try, at least maybe the first 2 volumes or maybe 1 volume, you're not going to be disappointed. Especially if you want to try something that's not in the realm of shonen. The last series I want to recommend is something that might be a little controversial. I don't know if you could really call this a beginner series. But like I said, I want to stick out a little bit. I didn't want to just recommend only shonen or only battle series. And I do recommend Doubt. So I've been trying to get into horror manga for a while now, and I just could not get into it. I've tried a couple Junji Ito stories. They weren't for me. But when I read Doubt, I completely fell in love with the world. I completely fell in love with the series. So Doubt collects itself in these 2 omnibus style volumes, which are pretty thick, but they are, like I said, not a big commitment. And basically what Doubt's about is these group of friends that they love playing this video game where they have to find out who the killer is. They meet up for the first time, and it turns out one of these friends, they want to play the game for real. So amongst these group of friends who have never met before, there is a killer among them, and they're slowly killing off each other member. Doubt may not be the best beginner series per se, but I do think it's a nice beginner series for the horror manga genre in general because it has some nice psychological elements, especially if you don't, like I said, if you don't want something that's more battle shonen series. You might like the psychological aspects and the mystery aspects of Doubt because you're trying to find out who the killer is. And I'll be honest, Doubt, it does a pretty good job at covering the tracks and covering who the actual killer is. Because I was reading through this and I really couldn't figure out who the killer was off rip. I'm usually pretty good at those type of mysteries and those types of mind games, psychological mind games. But Doubt kept me on my toes for the most part, and I do highly recommend it. Again, artwork is amazing. Doubt, I believe, is not really necessarily for like the true beginners who've never read a manga volume. Doubt is more for people who've read manga and they probably want to dive into horror manga. They want to dive into something different. They're tired of reading their same genre that they always used to, whether it be something like shonen, shoujo, josei. Maybe they want to differentiate the genre that they're always reading. I know that there are some people that they only specifically read one genre of manga, and every now and then you get a little bored. Definitely give Doubt a try. So Doubt may not be the best way to get like your new friend that's never picked up a volume ever, but if they like that type of stuff, if they like horror, if they like the mystery, if they like the psychological aspects, maybe they like a psychological type of anime, maybe introduce them to Doubt because they actually might like it. You'll be surprised what some people will like. But Doubt does have a little bit of a gore aspect to it, so be careful with Doubt. Really only recommend it to those that have read manga, they've been in this world a little bit, because they might be able to withstand some of the craziness that happens in Doubt. So that was my list of best beginner manga. And I didn't want to just recommend things that are basic, everyone's going to recommend. I did want to put some thought into this. I really do believe all of these series are best for beginners. If you or someone you know really wants to get into manga, they don't know where to start. If they don't really want to read things like Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, or My Hero, maybe give these series a try, especially things like Deadpool Samurai if they're a comic book person. If they want a different type of genre, maybe like a romantic comedy, High Score Girl. But of course, I had to put in some action like Crazy Food Truck, Oiniest Kill, and also Doubt is just a nice psychological manga if you want to try something a little bit different that doesn't really have too much action, but it's going to keep you on your toes, it's going to keep you guessing. If you made it this far into the video, thank you guys so much for watching, and I really do recommend that you pick up some of these series or even show this video to a friend and they might enjoy some of these series. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're new here and you like my content and you like what I'm doing, consider subscribing, leaving a like, hit the bell so I post another video. Again, follow me on Twitter. Links going to be in the description. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is your boy Just. I'm off this.